Can do the VC via the Discord. I think the issue is the latency was really bad when I was sharing my screen, so I'm just gonna do VC, and that should hopefully be fine. But we're gonna be, people can hear the commentary and they can follow along as well in the thread as they want. And here we go. Here we go. It's another Joe 10 game. We're here on day one. Phoenix, Arizona is Luque playing again. So it's kind of funny, right? We're talking about players that dislike the game and are in a bad mood. They always play the next one, right? It's just, that's how addicting the game of Mafia is. And Calypso is here as well. Famous Drink. Void here again. This is the game I get night one. So Void, he's really good as Mafia. That's a fakeable post. Silver, Akane, Akatsuki, the MVP so far in both games. Escante, Silly Goose, Eggs. Okay, so we're just going through. We're going to go in lifetime. And there, the timer is ticking. We're 3 minutes and 35 seconds down. We are ticking away. Here we go. Void is definitely having a better entrance for sure. Obviously, it's easier. I mean, not easier, but it is fakeable, but still pretty good. Void, Eggs, Arizona Town. So Waza in the chat. I feel good about this more than my early reads. So Waza feeling pretty good so far about the state of the game. And look, Waz is the type of guy who can come at you and bite you like a snow leopard he is, and he looks cute, but like, looks like a cinnamon, but can kill you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful of Waza, but we'll see how he goes as the game goes on. Silly Goose, Candy Fields Town. F you guys. Clem might be town again, but let's see. And obviously, for those that are in the Discord, if you want to see like the screen and the camera, feel free to check out the video afterwards. It'd be if you want to see it there, but hopefully the VC, the discussion itself should just be fine. Akatsuki posts a list, Void V. So Void is getting a lot of town reads, and I do think Void is townier for sure than last game. Whether or not it's fakeable or not, we shall see. But it definitely is a more towny interest. Clem calling Akane frozen. Silver saying, WTF are these wagons? Oh my god. I really do wonder if Silver will get that first Mafia ran at some point. Hopefully it's sooner than later. But we shall see. And here we go. Akane, I agree with this. With Silly Goose saying, I think Candy's tone is so towny. So Calypso is probably just town. We'll sheep that from two other people because, there's only two Max Mafia in the game. Escante Candy in thread name is ? And, well, Escante, that will be Calypso. Phoenix, Arizona unvotes himself. So Luque was self-voting? That's really strange. Happy, I think there's one Wolf in Goose or Akane. Wow, that's actually not a bad read from Happy, not gonna lie. That is kind of overdoing the spamming such excitement to fit in the thread, but I don't think they're both doing it as a Wolf. And that's actually a good read by Happy, right? It's kind of independently scum reading two people doing the same thing, but not thinking they'd have that plan together. And I think that's a correct read from Happy. Okay, guys, please tell me if Silver is ever scum here. Void, if Candy flips Wolf, just kill this lol. Yeah, so, I mean, Void wants to kill, Clem if Candy flips Wolf, but I think you always start with, right, we talked about this earlier, you gotta kill Clem in that situation, right? You want to go for the more likely possible Wolf, right? In that situation, and the vote count is insane. Ones across the board on Luque, Happy, Void, Calypso, and Akane as we're approaching with about a minute left into day one. Massive stuff going on here, a lot of commotion, chaos going on, and towards the end of the game, and Happy going on Silly Goose, zero confidence in this, but man, Happy hoping for the best, and we shall see. This is kind of crazy, a lot going on here. Now one vote on Akane, another vote on Luque. Akane thinks Waza could be scum, and that's probably more of an Omgus reaction than anything else. Now Silver goes onto Akane, guaranteed Akane more scummy than Clem here, and so now a lot of pressure going on to Akane here, and Goose thinks Happy is scum. So now both Goose and Akane are thinking Happy is scum, and this is a turn of events. Calypso, okay, please don't actually throw the game. I'm town, don't. Oh, and Calypso might be Joe, but we shall see. Clem going grrr. Now Silver goes to Calypso, says, now WTF is this as Calypso voted Luque? What do you mean? Okay, I'm Jode. Akane claims Jode. Akane claims Jode. Alarm. Look at Suki if she's not tenure by day 3. Wow. Massive. Akane claims Jode. Is this a fake? I don't know. Akane votes Happy. Silver voted unvoted Akane, and it is refreshing towards the end of the day. Still no vote put down. It is on Calypso, and Calypso voted town. Wow. And I'm surprised Void voted Calypso. And look, we talk about it so many times. If you're town and you see someone who is hard tolerating another person, do not kill that person that is being tolerated, because it is so unlikely for them to be Mafia unless the other person is Mafia, and there are more roles where they are villager, or the other person that's tolerating him is Wolf, or just both of them are Villager. So it's just not a good vote in that situation, I believe, and especially when you have two people in Akane and Calypso hard tolerating, sorry, when you have two people in Akane and Clem hard tolerating Calypso, it's just not the right move there, in my opinion, and Void and Eggs voting there is not right. We have Benny with us here in the VC. Benny, you have any thoughts so far? I don't know if you've been following along, but buddy, if you have any thoughts, let me know. Right.
Seven wagons when Akane claimed Joe,
Yep, yep. Yeah, I
and
mean,
Calypso died with 2 votes. So there's got to be better consolidation there, I think.
exactly. And to your point, the cohesion of town is just not there, right? I mean, there were a lot of 1-1-1 votes,
Yeah,
and really, this was basically half the half the thread getting voted, right? And so anyone could have died, and it's very favorable for Mafia. But
very
yeah,
faithful.
yep,
Mafia.
yep.
Yep, yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, you're never gonna lynch Mafia in that scenario unless they're just both AFK.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Well, unless they're like get caught up in that unfortunate like last minute flash wagon, but again, that's kind of you
Yep,
would have to get lucky there, right? It's not really the way that you want to play as town in that situation. I agree.
yep.
Wow, and
Um,
yeah,
if
so
Akane is indeed Joe,
yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah.
which I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously they got to shoot, and so who
Happy.
are they gonna shoot?
I think they're shooting Happy now. Whether or not that's the right decision, I will see. But I think they're likely going to shoot Happy. That's just kind of what
Yeah,
I'm leaning they would be doing based off Happy's push on Akane. Now if Clem now Akane being town does kind of rise Happy's scum equity a little bit. Obviously, if Clem is Mafia, it's good for Happy. But um, I don't think Happy is Mafia. I just kind of felt he was towny the way he gave the read. Um, I don't really have a read necessarily this game yet, but I would look at. Um, I mean, it's easy to just look at the people that voted Calypso, but it's just hard, right? I mean, it's just there's not much from here, you know. Um, yeah, I don't really
I
have any
think
strong reads.
I think the way Happy gave his read on Akane, and then it was someone else in one of his posts,
Yeah,
was a villagery way to make that read.
correct.
Even if I think the read on Akane was wrong, and I don't remember who the second
It
person
was
was,
on
but I think the way he
Clem
gave
on
Clem. Okay,
Selenus. Yeah,
I think that was a village way to make a read, and I understand why Akane would react that way, especially
right.
when you're Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're probably right. They're probably going to shoot Happy. I don't know if that's the best shot. Even
Yeah.
if even if he flips Wolf, it might not be the best shot.
Well, I
But
mean, you always want to take the wolf kills, right? Whenever you can get them,
sure,
and you
yeah,
guarantee at least worst case F3. But I just think that Happy's also one of those players where you keep him in the game. If he's down, he'll show up. He'll find a way to make it happen, and it's just I can understand why Akane would do that, but from her perspective, right? But
yeah.
we'll see if it pays off. Um, I just have a feeling though, if Happy flips town, you could probably see some pressure onto Clem based off Happy's push there, right? And so that can end up causing a whole chain of reactions. But we shall see. The night phase rolling
That's
down. Time is ticking down.
that's exactly my fear is that
Yeah.
if he's town, that can balloon into, well, he was right about this or wrong about this, and
Yep.
it can lead to chain lunches for
Exactly.
both.
And let's see. And oh no, Akane shot scrambled eggs. Wow. So Akane. Okay, so Akane ended up shooting eggs there. Wow, that I did not expect that. And now, all of a sudden, you have really nothing to analyze from the day one wagon analysis. You have Happy and Clem, who are probably going to go at it. We shall see. Wow, massive, massive play. And look, if you're town, this is L1 minus Lilo. So this is a massive day, a humongous day for town. They gotta get this right, and Void, rightfully, he's like, why was X shot? And he's confused, kind of pissed. We see, and I kind of think, I think Clem and Happy kind of has to have one. I mean, if they're both VV, I think Luki would have to be Mafia, um, or something. It just there's something weird about that whole. Um, I just don't think Clem and Happy or Wolf are VV though now, based off the game state.
Well, Happy can always be scum. Hey guys, by the way.
Welcome, it's Mr. Smith. Give Smith another day, huh? Isn't that the mojo? How you doing, buddy?
Absolutely.
Yep,
How
yep.
are you guys doing?
Good, good. We're just doing some live commentary for Turbos. If you don't mind, this is recorded as well. I don't know if you knew that, but I've been doing this recently for the previous two. They're great games. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Well,
But
that's
yeah,
fine.
yep, yep,
No worries.
yep. But yeah, we've been recording these games, doing some live commentary. I was used to do screen share, but I saw that the recordings were pretty laggy when I did that, so now I'm just doing the voice portion of it and this recording. You'll see in the recording of my face as well as the cam and the screen of the actual thread I'm showing. And Silly Goose now going to Happy. So Silly Goose saying this is a wolf voting Happy. And now here we go. Right? We're going to have that Thunderdome, the 1v1. And let's see. Happy going right into Clem. And I do think this is probably a wolf on wolf interaction. And it's kind of funny, right, Benny? We talked about, hey, if you had shot Happy, if he was Town, it could cause a bad chain reaction. Now it might not actually be the case. Now it might actually get one Mafia there. We shall see how this goes, though. Here we go, Silver. I had to read on one of you or Akane being wolf. Now, so tell me now that Akane is town, why are you town as well? Silver could be with Happy. That is a weird post. GG Easy go next. Yep, and Clem Happy just going right at it. I mean, look, if they're both V Mafia, just gonna eat popcorn and have a day, right? These two are gonna go at it, and you're already in F7, right? So it's just huge for town to get it right today. I mean, a lot of the line here, and it's Shrimple, you are a wolf. And Clem is now kind of memeing with that line, Shrimple. It's just that Shrimple, that song kind of sticks in my head. And it's Kante. I didn't get to ISO Goose, but I also said Akane. Why did you go for Akane Scum? And this feels like such a scummy post, 241. Why would you even ISO Akane when she had Clem Jode? I don't know, it just feels like a waste there. And it seems like kind of like, okay, Escante would be the wolf if Goose and Happy are somehow VV, but still, that's just a really weird post. Don't like the way you've participated this game. Doesn't feel town in the slightest. Yeah, so Goose really is now kind of stretching the scum read on Happy. It just doesn't feel authentic now. Now it just feels like you're pushing him because you have to rather than you believe it. Powerful in comments, honestly believe them, lol. If you're generally resorting to Goose, I'm just going to vote you. Yep. And now Silver gonna vote Goose here. I'm being serious. Why are you town here? Yeah, and I think this is good. I actually starting to think Clem is scumming here between Happy and Clem, and let's see how this goes. I feel like Goose sees me as a low-hanging fruit since they haven't played with me and just assume I am since I'm phone posting. Otherwise, I don't see why they would be so sure I'm scum when I'd say my ISO is pretty null and not leaning in either direction. And so Happy understanding that, he hasn't played with Goose a lot and now understanding that, it's weird for Goose to scum read him this hard for an ISO really from a unbiased perspective, it's not as scummy. Voids is Happy. What's your read on Suki right now? Independently, I think both you and Clem can be town. Wow, that's a really interesting world for Void to have. Even though you both suspect each other, since I don't think Clem is wolfy right now, nor do I think you have been scummy since you don't really seem to have agenda, so I prefer solving outside of you two for the time being. I mean, I would look at Escante, right? If I'm Void, I immediately look at that Escante chaining post. Happy just look kind of scummy. I had them as town at first. Then the rest of the thread got townier, so I second guessed the read. I explained why I thought there was one and then more Goose. Yeah, I mean, Happy's explanation made sense, right? The way they had kind of been upping their energy in a way that he felt was fake, but he didn't think both of them would do it as Mafia. Kind of just made sense there. And to me, it did feel like a villager read, and let's see how this goes on. Silly Clem goes, I'm being serious too. I had you myself yesterday. I have 2 names left, and I think both are scummy as I am town because I received a town random in my inbox. I'm town because I don't play like this as a wolf. I'm town because I've genuinely tried to solve this game and put genuine effort into it. Well, I don't know if the third line is necessarily true. I'm town because I defended Candy, which I don't do as wolf. Now that is really weird. So you're saying as wolf you don't defend towns? I'm town because I'm town. I don't know. To me, this just feels really far. That post is actually really disgusting. That's like a scummy post. I don't know. That to me just doesn't feel genuine. Clem, read on Silver. Void again. The obsession with Silver, right? It's there again. Void. Now, I'll just force something outside of you two today. And so Void going for this route, actually, the forcing, it could actually potentially be Towny Void. I actually do like his day 2 so far. Silver, you're pushing on someone who I believe is Town right now. Voting Silly Goose. Who are in the world was in our town? I'm null on Goose after ISO. So Escante already kind of putting Goose in the nulls. I just think if you want to look outside Escante, see here's the thing, Goose and Happy are never wolf, right? So there's always going to be at least one wolf outside of them. You have Suki Town, Void Town. Silver is kind of linked with Happy. So I mean, like if you think Happy's going to go there, but I think Escante, I mean, Luke is just 0 posting, so you might need a sub there potentially. We shall see. I mean, that's a massive blow if he's Town, especially in this L-1 Lilo potential situation. But I think Luke also voting. Okay, so Luke just voted in and voted sleep. That is bizarre. So I think Luke, like if you're looking outside, Luke Escante probably has one. I mean, Silver is like in the edge case, but I think Escante and Luke have one. I think it's more likely Happy Luke. If anything, if there's two Mafia, if Happy's Wolf, if Clem is Mafia, it could easily be Luke as well. But it's just bizarre either way. Happy. I have no interest in convincing anyone I'm town. Yeah, so I mean, Happy is going about this in a towny way. I mean, I don't know. Escante Luque definitely has one. I think based off the Mafia there, you'd be able to potentially tell who's Wolf. Like, I don't think Escante is Mafia the way he's playing around Happy. I think Escante Clem would be a team. I think, Luque Happy could potentially be a team, but we'll see, right? Happy Town would look at early in the day and try to get some defending there, but let's see. Right, here we go. Silver, you're quite literally saying that you think the solve is Waza. You have expressed your hesitation in any of your town reads, or even looked outside of Waza Meat World. And Silver really pushing Silver Goose here correctly, right? Goose says she has genuinely been trying to read the game. Really, Goose? If you've been genuinely trying to read the game, why have you only been focusing on the two slots? You haven't been really talking about Escante. You haven't been really talking about Void as much. I mean, you talk about your Calypso read, but really that was about it, right? You hadn't really done much outside of that. And to me, it just reads fake. And let's see how this goes, right? Luque, I hate myself in every conceivable way. So Luque is really doom or gloom or posting, and I don't know what to think about it. I would just kill Escante here, honestly. Oh, Lucas's Clem is probably V. I literally cannot do anything game related, or else I start crying. I don't even know why. Wow. Okay, maybe Luque is V. I don't know what's going on with Luque or what's going on. He seems to be in a really sad mood, and it's sad to see, right? We hope he can be in a better position, a better mood, and in a better environment. But let's see. Oh, and now Happy's saying the sad part is I actually think Silver is more scummy now because they're being nice to me, and it's only Wolves who are nice to me and defend me when I'm being dunked on by third. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Post 279 is a Happy V textbook post. I mean, that is so villager by Happy. I would probably just kill Clem Escante. So yeah, now I would just go Clem Escante for sure. Silver maybe if I'm really following Happy there. So yeah, but I think Luque is probably V now. So I think my POE would be probably Clem Escante and Silver, something like that. I just believe Luque is posting right now. I don't know. You're acting as if I'm hard wolf and I'm not. Yeah, and so Clem, I don't know. Clem is just not being fair if she's down, and I think I gotta pay a price at the end of the day. And Clem goes, I have looked that side. I didn't see it possible. And see, that to me just feels fake. So Clem is not with Happy, Clem is not with Silver, right? So you just look at the possible combinations of world, right? You think Luque is town, Void is town, right? So you gotta have at least one. And probably not, I mean, it could be still Happy and Silver theoretically. I just think Happy is probably V, right? So you look at least one in Escante or Luque, but the thing is, I think Luque is town, right? So I think Escante is the kill. And it seems like Jira. Alarm. Red alert, just coming in. Jira has subbed in for Luque. And that is a massive sub, right? You talk about Jira. If Jira is subbed into that town slot, they're cooked. The Mafia can be cooked. So let's see, right? Time is ticking for Jira, one of the best underrated town players in my opinion, especially in today's game. Let's see what he comes up with. Let's see what the Jira, the man, comes up, and a massive sub, right? As Benny just said it as well, huge, humongous, game-changing potentially of town. Even if Mafia was still pretty good, right? But I think Luque was down, so let's see what happens. Yeah, Jira says hi. I've really barely read. Happy Glue seems VV at a glance. Oh, and Jira is scumbrating Suki. That is spicy. Wow. Okay, let's see how this goes. So Jira is scumbrating Suki. I'm interested to see this. I'm surprised he didn't scumbrate Escante if he thinks Clem and Happy is VV. But yeah, I think Happy is V regardless at this point now. And I guess to be honest, I feel bad voting Clemmer because she's towering me, but I don't really understand how you can get me town them out. That is kind of a towny read by Suki actually in 290 or like 298 towny post. Silver says Void can't read Clem for shit lemon. No offense, but and Silver really putting the gas on Clem and making fun of Void. We talk about the GG players. We love this pizzazz, love the sass. Listen, if you're a GG player, if you're up here, you're listening, keep it up, right? You want to be great. You want to be one of those players to be heard. I love it. Keep that sass, keep that energy, keep that swagger, as Yolo would say. So wag, keep that mentality, keep that I'm a boss mentality, and just keep at it. Jira unvotes and now is trying to solve and do his thing. Goose says, I'm alright with the Silver vote today. I'm bounds more confident in Silver. And to me, this seems really fake from Clem. They genuinely have not been solving the game, and it just doesn't feel right. I think Happy is town now at this point. Silver, he's not rolling over. What are you saying? What the hell is this agenda? And so, Silver pushing Goose the way she is. I just feel like is not the way Mafia would play, especially when if Happy and Clem are going at it that far. I don't think Silver's the type of wolf to get her hands dirty, right? To dip her feet in the water, right? To get active. There's just not how she goes. So I think Suke, Void, Jira, are Town. And you just gotta hope if Silver is Town. I mean, I don't know how none of them are looking at Escante like Happy. So okay, good. Happy just said it here on post 385 or 305. You can be Silver's partner. You're scared of me and Solver team, but I don't see how you got that link. And I'm curious if you just linked me to your partner so that I'd be POE. And so, wow. Wow, so it could be Silver-esque. I mean, that is a potential world. I mean, for me, I would always kill Esk here. That is kind of my hone and kill today. I just think Happy's villager. Oh, and now Happy change. Wow, a huge change of the gears. Void onto Silver and Happy onto Silver. That is massive. Clem, you showed zero attitude, nor will to ever even consider Rules of Waza and Iron being Town. You've been stuck in one solve for the entire day, and it's not been reading like a tone. So the way Silver's actually playing around Happy isn't partnered anymore. I just think Happy is just Town. I still think Escante is the best vote, but if Silver's Mafia, I think you always should kill Escante for sure, because Silver's never with Clem either. So I think Escante is always the best vote, as we mentioned. But if Silver's Mafia, that's great. You just finish with Escante. So I think Town are probably in a good position. Huge change of events. So 1 minute and 35 seconds and counting. Game changing. Happy says, I'm sorry for your Town. I hated voting people who defended me. Yeah, this guy's just Town. Happy is so Town. He doesn't do this as Mafia. But it's almost always wolves who defend me because villagers are incapable of reading me correctly, lol. And wow, that is crazy. I've said both of you are wolves. And Clem still going at it. I just think Escante is always Mafia, though. Like, it's just crazy. Kusuke, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about Clem now, though. How do you suppose you got me Town here? Didn't I find you Town in the first game together, and because of weird joke claims, I kept you in POV? So Silver trying to defend herself against Happy. Let's see what happens. Suki, who are you going to vote? And Void really onto Silver, as always. Launches to the moon after I die. And so Silver really still gunning for Clem. And it's interesting, right? Because Silver could actually be Mafia. She hasn't focused on Escante as much. And Silver does. And Silver is indeed Mafia. Humongous. So Happy just kind of made himself a wolf. And Escante, the hammer on potentially her partner. Still uneasy about Happy. Weak Town on Goose. And I do think that the game just ends with Escante. And I think Escante is probably the Mafia. Happy's always village after that. There is no way in the world that Happy does that type of play as
they're shooting Happy for sure.
Wait, you're shooting Happy?
They're definitely shooting Happy.
Wait, say that again?
They're definitely shooting Happy tonight. Whoever the last.
Well, I don't know if you missed it, Smith, but the Jode actually got night one that Akane had to claim, and then ended up shooting. What's his face?
Yeah, so the Jode's dead.
They're shot eggs. Yeah.
Whoever it is shooting Happy. I'm not completely convinced.
I see what you're saying. You're saying the Mafia is shooting Happy in the night. I got you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sold on Escante Wolf. I think she's got equity, but it's weird. Like, she's done this thing where she's cast no votes all game until that last hammer.
Yeah.
Which isn't really what I expect out of her Wolf game, but not really what I expect out of her Town game. I feel like I'm null scum on her. So it wouldn't shock me, but I don't know.
So let's talk about this real quick, right? I think this kill actually kind of makes it so that the Happy and Clem argument, their back and forth, was VV, right? Because we look at the way that Silver... Yep. So look, right? Silver had been pushing Clem a lot for her push on Happy, right? But the way Happy turned on Silver, and it just felt very authentic, just felt very towny of Happy, and Silver is never with Clem in that world, right? So we can now we have Happy and Clem as VV. Void obviously wanted to Void outside of that. There's no reason for Void to do that as Mafia, especially onto Silver. So Void, Happy, Clem, or Town. Jira is also probably Town. I mean, obviously the Jira vote you can call it a bus vote at the timing, but I just think the Luke slot was Town. And I just think that Mafia is either Escante or possibly Suki. I just thought Suki was Towny, and we'll see how this goes, but I think my POE is something like Escante, Suke, and they only have 2 votes, really, right? I mean, we're heading to F5, so yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. Well, Alexis, very convinced that Suki's Town, which I sort of deferred to her on it. Like, I feel like Suki's extremely obvious Town in like half of her games, and then the other half I just thumb lean her, but she could be either, and there's some additional tells that I'm not getting for her.
Yep. And really, I mean, shout out to Happy, right? We talk about when you're getting told by someone, getting the ability to just move your eyes out of that tunnel, focus elsewhere onto Silver. I mean, that is impressive from Happy, right? That's a lot of credit.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of people tend to hone in and focus on just one player that's scum reading them. It's so easy to umgus, but for Happy, not only to get out of the tunnel, but to scum read correctly the person town reading him because of previous meta and previous interactions of how players read him, especially newer ones. That is just, fantastic play from Happy, really. It's just,
Oh, yeah.
something you don't see every now and then. Yeah, Smith, you want to comment on that?
No, that it's really good play. I think there's still like the extremely funny 1% world where Happy's a wolf, but no, I don't buy that.
Oh, no, no,
But
no,
if it
never.
was, I'd be blown away.
I mean, look. Regardless, this is either a fantastic town play or fantastic wolf play from Happy, right? Either way, it's a fantastic
Yeah.
play. But I think it's always town. I think Clem is always town. I think Silver's lack of focus on Escante is also somewhat telling, right? Because
Yeah.
Silver at town red, I'm Happy, and her main focus was on um Clem, and then obviously Escante was also pushing Happy, and we see the night is ending, and we're going into day number 3. Let's see what happens. Who is it gonna be? Is it gonna be the Snow Leopard? And no, it is
Jira.
Jira. And so I did expect Jira's slot to be town regardless. It is an interesting kill. I don't know what that necessarily means for the last wolf, but I do lean into Scante. I just think it's so hard for me to get out of that. And Silly Goose again, and Clem, and this is just so unreal, man. Unreal. And Clem continuing to vote Happy. And see, this to me is still somewhat surprising. You are voting the person who managed to get out of their tunnel on you, and not only get out of the tunnel, but vote onto Silver. They were a pioneer in the push there. And yes, Clem is probably town. They're probably not with Silver, but this is still crazy. Yeah, never mind.
If that's scum play, that's really
Mm.
solid though.
Yeah, and Happy says expect a Void to die, but I don't think it matters. Probably just means Jiro is more right than Void. And something to note, right? Happy at town with Jiro and Void as well, right? So I mean, I you know curious regardless, what that means there. And Voice says, I don't know if I should question why I'm alive or not, to be honest. I just think it's Escante. I mean, Escante's first post was Jerry's an interesting kill, but let's see. Getting very interesting here in day number 3 in town. Again, in a good position. Look, we've seen this pattern happen in a lot of games, right? We saw town kind of struggle day 1. They kind of pushed it together day 2, right? We saw Void and Happy kind of push this come there. We saw Matt and Silver do it the previous game, right? In day 1, and then even the previous first game, right? We saw Jokiza manage to bomb Aori with the help of his Android and some others, right? So town have managed to bounce back, and I think credit to town, right? A lot of grit, but they got to finish it here. They did it the last 2 games. Can they do it again, right? Can they do it 3 times again? And Happy says, vote me today. I'm busy and have no interest sitting here watching Goose tell me for another half an hour, especially when I'm sure they're just town now. Yeah, and Happy is correct. Happy is just town. Last is probably in Suke-esque, and Happy is correct, right? Suke-esque is the correct PoE. I think it's likely esque. And obviously we saw Alexa confidently towering Suki here. So I think Escante is probably the last. Happy says, whoever doesn't get NK'd between Goose or Jiro should get Hammer in F3. I pre-wrote this at night expecting Void to die with Jiro, but the same point holds. Give Void or Goose Hammer in F3. Yeah, and that's correct. Happy is just obviously town. And look, if you're Goose, I think you just have to take a look, look in the mirror, right? Go give yourself a pep talk and understand why you're scum reading Happy, right? Why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you want him to be Mafia, or are you doing it because you actually scum read him? And you just look at the evidence, right? Tunnels you, gets out of the tunnel, votes on the Mafia. What more do you want him to do, right? At that point, you just have to understand and try to let go of your previous perceived conceptions, or conceptions of what your read was, and try to get out of that bias, right? He did it for you. You can definitely do the same. And Goose goes here. Also, Waza, Jen, I can't find you town because of you giving up here. And again, that to me, you just,
That Esk vote is ugly. That Esk vote is ugly. I think she's adding a lot of scum
yeah,
equity.
Escante goes, and I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Right? I'm doing it with a Spanish accent, obviously, but Escante, I think that's, I mean, Escanta, I'm pretty sure that's how you
I
pronounce it.
think it should be A rather than A, but I'm not sure.
I see. Regardless, so very interesting. Yeah, I Sotsuki. I like both her and you. Scared this game. What? I Sotsuki. I like her. I like both her and you. Scared of this game of you and Silver. Now you or her. I'll go Akatsuki. So you Isotsuki. You like her and you. Then you're scared of you and Silver. Now you or her. And then you go Suki. I mean, that is just so fake, right? That is more fake than a prima donna girl on going down Broadway Street. I mean, this to me is just Mafia written all over it.
Yeah. That's her scum tell is casting just god awful votes, and that's the first non hammering scum vote she's cast all day, and that's a god. That's an ugly vote.
Yeah, it's an ugly vote. And look at this. And Happy Goes Jiro probably was right on Suki, I guess. Anyways, Goose, a little tip. You're probably the second most spewed person after Silver for Public Scum. I think they're the first person spewed. I mean, I could understand and Happy from her perspective because Silver is hard defending, right? Like, you're essentially what Silver did is what we call it the chain reaction, right? What Silver did is she tried to chain a town hard pushing incorrectly onto a town. And I think was there a hamburger? You're kidding me. And they hammered? Are you kidding me? Whoa. Oh my god! And Goose, I mean, look, Goose. After this game, go look in the mirror and think about your play. First of all, you got hard, Scummery Happy, and then you hammer Suki there. It's just unbelievable what's going on. But anyways, back to my tangent, right? What Suki did was, not Suki. What Silver did there is Silver basically did what we call a chain play, right? You're basically hard pushing a town for incorrectly pushing another town, right? And Mafia love pushing players who are pushing incorrectly, and that's what Silver did, right? Silver basically chained was basically chaining Goose for incorrectly pushing Happy. That is called a chainsaw, right? That is called pushing a town for incorrectly having a read. That's called it's a chainsaw push. That's how we call it. Right? Maybe it's something else, but the ideology behind your play, Silver, is called the chainsaw push. Maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong there, but that is kind of the whole mojo there, and I think that's why Happy was talking about he spewed town because of the way Silver was pushing on someone for pushing on Happy. And yes, Clem is Goose, Benny.
Yeah, it should just be Esk here.
Yeah, it's got that. I mean, look. Clem's vote is not good, right? But by the stretch of the imagination, obviously Goose is like very town from, but from Silver, right? I mean, if without Silver, I would probably scum reading Goose hard here. But we talked about it, right, Smith? I mean, you wanted to talk about it. Right? Escante's vote, it just wasn't good, and then the post after that, the follow up says, no partner in this game. There feels linked to you and Silver, and I see Silver's defense of you as Wolf. I just make sure you don't eat the NK. If I could easily do that.
All right. Here's a fun one. Who dies tonight from each of the 4 hypothetical Wolf perspectives?
Wow,
I feel like everybody other than Void.
No one. They are holding the kill.
Yeah. Zara is so funny, man. I say that again, Zara. They're holding the kill. Say that again. Oh my god.
They are holding the kill. Don't worry about it.
S kills Void, right? Obviously.
Yep.
Happy probably kills Clem.
Yeah, I think so for sure because Clem, 100%. I think that without a doubt.
I don't know
if Clem is Mafia. Clem probably kills Void too, right? Because obviously Escante is scum rating like Happy, and theoretically, like Escante was scum rating Happy and Akatsuki, and that's gonna be so devastating, right? I mean, this could end up being a town loss, right? Like Escante is Mafia. Happy might be taking the fall here regardless. And look, it is kind of sad to see it go down the way it did. And look, I don't know what to say if this is a town loss. I do think you have to look yourself back in the mirror and understand when reading the game and trying to read more holistically rather than focusing on the present. But yeah, and Void just says, I'm pretty sure Suki is a wolf for how she read me and so on. Look, if Void is Mafia, I think for sure he's killing Escante. Which is a weird kill to us. So? Because Clem and Happy are hard scum rating each other, right? Obviously, it's more.
I guess that's true, but I feel like that might out you if you are
Void. Void shoots Clem or Happy. He shoots into
Both does a kill. Don't kill anyone.
Oh, here's the thing. Actually, you have a good point. You have a good point though, Benny, because I did forget Happy's in the equation where he would be scum rating Void probably over Clem. So you're right. I think maybe Happy dies if Void is Mafia. But regardless, it's just Clem is not going to let go of that scum raid, if Void is Mafia. But obviously,
if I'm Void, I shoot Clem, and
Happy died.
And Happy wants to.
Whoa, guys! And Happy died. So let's talk about this a little bit, right? I don't think Void is Mafia for the push onto Silver, especially when Happy and Clem, like for a theoretical perspective, right? Happy and Clem were going at it. Clem is never Mafia here, right? That is for sure. Like we are all tolerating Clem, I'm sure.
I think Suki is the last wolf.
Well, Suki died. Yes.
Okay. You think she died, but it was a game error.
Yeah. Oh my God, Sarah, you
Modbot
are so
lies.
Yeah.
Don't believe Modbot's lies.
Yeah.
I think Void could have taken that shot. If I'm Void, I almost shoot Clem. And Happy and Esk go after each other, but
Oh
It's
my.
not a bad shot if it's Void.
Oh my god. And here we go, right? Here we go. I mean, look, these players in a final three, it's just such a look. I thought if it's Escante, she for sure kills Void there. Obviously, Escante could do this as Mafia as well. Like, it's not a bad kill on Happy because Happy was for sure going to like Happy was targeting Void or Goose, right? And Clem's vote there does look bad, right? So you can kind of, get the pressure on there. But if it's Void, it requires. Yeah, go.
I kind of think Eska spewed Villager from that
Really?
shot. No joke.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they
Oh,
always
I
kill
don't know.
Void. They always kill Void, don't they?
I mean, yes, but the
No.
thing
I
is,
mean,
I think
Happy's-
Happy is always going to be
Happy's-
pushing Escante, but still, yeah, Goose can easily vote Happy there, and it's just crazy to me. Escante said, well, I probably would have considered voting Happy. Yeah, Void is, I can't even think about to me. Silly feels towny, rereading. So here's the thing, right? I'm down to open the door on Void, but it requires a couple things, right? The day where Silver died, Void purposely wanted to get out of the Clem. So not only did he town read the Happy and Clem VV situation and wanted to get out there, he ended up pushing on to Silver. Is this a play a Wolf has to make in that situation? But not L-1 Lilo. Jordan's already dead.
Yeah.
We talk about plays that Wolves should or shouldn't do. If I'm Void there as Wolf, I don't think that's a play he has to do. If there's a Joda live, I think that's a different conversation. I just don't know if that's the play you would expect from a Wolf.
I think Void should have shot Clem if he's the Wolf. I think people are discounting the idea that Escanta could have made that kill. I think that's probably the right kill for her.
I mean, I do agree Escanta could still be Wolf after that kill. I don't think it changes the needle for me. I mean, I'm leaning 75-25.
I think if she is the Wolf, that is probably the right shot to make.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she's really confident that Clem's going to snap Happy.
Yeah.
And
Void says, I think Eska's Wolf and just changed how they play. Don't think Clem is ever partnered with Silver. So that's the thing, right? Like, I think Escante here is Escante's game plan here is attempting to push Void here, right? And it seems like Void is not pushing Escante as well as they're going at it. And this is just so much of the line. I think everyone...
370. Oh, man. Look at 370.
Yeah, so Joe didn't flip. We have a Joe, yeah? Or did flip? I mean, Escante did this last time they were Mafia too. They kind of did this little, like, supposed, like, throwaway in there. Like, I think it was when Gamer was... died or something. They were like, oh, Gamer was Joe or whatever. Like, they tried playing it off, but...
We have a vote.
Oh, and here we go. It's a vote. It's 2 votes. Is the game over? And Escante, sorry if wrong. Clem made a post after, but is there an act? Is there an acknowledge? We're waiting. Tick, 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 tick on the clock. One more post.
He's acknowledged. Clem is town.
There is an act. It's Clem. Why are you making me pick? And let's talk about it. How huge this is for Clem. Have made the wrong vote on Happy the entire game. Mishammered on Akatsuki-chan. And now has a chance to amend. Make the fixes for all her mistakes. Put the town on her back and bring it home. Will she do it? So much of the line. Massive. And just like that.
I hope the Wolves win, actually. Stop rooting for the Villagers.
And Zara,
you are siding with the Villagers all game. What is going on here? You're so biased for this team. Someone has to say it. Give the Wolves a chance to win this
Look,
game.
man, I'm here for spicy content, right? I'm always.
And I'm here for the Wolf team. I'm standing up for the people,
and
for the voiceless. I'm the voice of the voiceless.
Yep, and it's very fitting for you, Zara. I just think that, as someone who's a Wolf boy, right? Momiji, Awu, we gotta shut you down, and we always root for the comeback. Look, I think a Wolf winning this game. Look, if Void is Mafia, I think he's played a terrific game. I think if Escante is Mafia, she's also played a good game. But at the same time, I just feel like she should have died over Suki yesterday if she's Mafia. And if
the whole village doesn't deserve this win after the hammer set it. They don't deserve it. They need to
Speaking for the voiceless, Escantas suddenly made a random post again.
Oh, here we go. Escante goes, okay, Goose, how do I hope you see town in me, or do you want to hammer? Wow, that's a weird post. I mean, look, obviously
it's such a weird post.
I mean, look, regardless of alignment, Escante is new, but you do have to understand the votes are locked, and so at this point, it's you versus Void.
Yeah. I just don't think she's not at that point. She just voted.
Yeah, Escante voted Void. I mean, look, I don't think that's a scummy post per se. I just think it's a funny NAI post. But Silver really struggles with TMI, and they never. So it's interesting, right? If Void wanted to push Silver here, I just want to understand the Wolf motivation, right? Look. Jode is dead. They shot incorrectly. You're one away from Lilo. You have 2 villagers who are literally hard gutsing each other. You have Clem, who you can just hop on like a bandwagon on a bus train, rolling over the snow leopard, who is town. I just. Look, even if you want to call the interaction VV, that's fine. But to strong arm on to Silver. I don't know. It's hard for me to look at that as Mafia, but look, I think, I think Void, if Mafia made the correct kills, right, onto Happy especially, I think, man, it's just so crazy to see. Look, in Void, Silver also TMI me, Talon Lemon 5, so this game is just simple. You didn't hammer, I'm cool. And look, Void also had a great entrance to start the game, so if he's Mafia, I think he came in with an agenda, really to really 180 his game. So, it's Clem says, because I'm pretty sold on Void Town right now, personally. Honestly, that's the best you could do is just tell me why Void has come over you. You didn't hammer. I'm cool with you, Goose. You have to decide, but I am Town. I am curious, though, guys. Do you think Void... Void ended up voting Escante, but did Void have the good towny paranoia in the F3 at the beginning with Goose, then end up voting Escante? Or is it... Well, what did you guys feel?
I mean, I think it's probably reasonable for a villager in that spot to just look at Clem and say, yeah, that should be a villager. Escante's not being particularly villagey. It's F3. You go through a little rigmarole and then you cast your vote. Like, that seems plausible, but it's also a plausible wolf process. I'd be like 65-35 Escante.
Yeah, and here we go. Massive post here because I know myself, Town. To me, you're Void. I'm with Void on me. You had Scum win, so that is relief. I'm Town with you, but I know it's hard. Okay. Yeah, go Zora.
Yeah, I want to tell you something. You said good towny paranoia. Stop using this town language. you really oppress the wolves here, Aaron. That's not okay.
I'm not oppressing the wolves. I'm asking. No, look, Zara, I'm opening up to the table.
No. I get what's up here. The MU moderators want a village side. I get it. But the wolves here, they need backup.
All right, here we go. And Escante with a massive, amazing wolf post. And the wolves, can they woo their way to victory? Or will they ooh to their death? Nods, you have to choose. I do time read you during the happy fight and after. I did scum read Silver. Escante, did you really scum read Silver, though? Let's see. Escante looking for her second wolf win against Happy in theory. And look, actually, part of this too, if Escante's wolf, guys, we talked about it earlier in the day, right? Escante was against Happy and ended up beating Happy. I know Escante was kind of afraid of Happy there. I would imagine they would have killed them in that situation, but why wouldn't they do it the day before is also an interesting question. So, I mean, look, the kills, it's hard to read into as much because it does open the door, as we mentioned, for that Void Mafia kill. I just think there's so much more pointing to Escante, but, we're hoping they can pull it off, right? Zara is really hoping Escante can pull it off, and we'll see, right? Zara is, rooting for those wolves.
Zara, if Void is the last wolf, who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for the last wolf. I'm not reading any posts there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm just rooting for the wolf by default.
Zara is voting for the wolf alignment. And now the timer's popped off, by the way. I forgot to say that. 5 minutes and 5 seconds and counting. Massive. Just so much on the line here in the Game 3 Turbo. It has been 2 hours since we've started this live commentary. 2 Turbo's gone quickly. It's been Town wins. Last time in this situation, Suki-chan came up clutch in both previous games. Unfortunately, Suki-chan did die. I don't know what her previous read was before that, but now Town has got to do it for her, right? Let's see if they can. And oh my bad. My apology. That was poor language on my part. Let's hope the Town can't do it for her. Let's hope the Wolves can win, as Zara would say. Let's see how it happens here. A lot of back and forth Void. This was the only time Esk.
404 is a good post from Esk.
This. Damn, it's really obvious when I'm this. I feel like.
Actually, no, never mind. I thought she was quoting him and just saying vibe thing. Never mind. I'll back that off. It was a decent wolf.
Void says this was the only time S sus Silver, and it wasn't even sus, it was a hedge. Also, Happy had S as last scum, if that matters. And so here we go, right? I mean, just so much. And look, I think Void would have probably killed Clem the more I think about it, because Happy was for sure like hard time reading Clem.
I think Void needed to kill into the Clem Happy split because otherwise he's in danger and it looks bad.
Actually, but from a level 1 perspective, right? Like you keep 2 players at a tunnel. Happy was probably not going to be voting Clem there in theory if that's like the world, but like Clem would have for sure been onto Happy and you kind of double back there. And here we go. Void goes also vote Suki while having her town read, which is outing. Yeah, I mean that to me was crazy, right? Like Escante literally said, I like both her and you, scared of you and Silver, now you or her. I'll go Suki. Like to me that posting doesn't make any sense, and we're getting so close to the game end of it, potentially 3 minutes and 30 seconds and less and counting. Can Clem resurrect her previous mistakes, or will Mafia find a way to win through and prove their spiritual prowess over the Town? Let's see.
408, that little bit of which is outing. is Wolfie language in F3.
I mean, I understand
I think
Town
it's
kind
a
of. I mean, I understand Townie's kind of using that language, especially look. I think if you're in F3, you want the other person to die. You start over exaggerating, especially as the timer is ticking down, right? When you're getting to those last moments. Benny, I know you had some comment. Well, what's up?
Yeah, I don't mind that comment at F3, but I'm looking back at Void's day 2, 3, and when there's none of that villagery paranoia you were talking about. It
Oh,
was very much agendaed.
oh,
Suki's always the wolf here. I'm never unvoting. And then when that changed, he pivoted to kind of tinfoiling on Clem a little bit, but then just disregarding that and then just voting pretty right away. I don't know. I feel like that's a wolfy progression the last couple days, and
oh, wow. So maybe it could potentially be Void. Wow.
It could be.
S vote on Suki plus lack of interaction with Silver and lack of Silver ever reading each other just makes them weeby, and it's pretty obvious. Town isn't gonna vote someone they town read. Town isn't gonna vote someone they town read. Okay,
I also kind of think I don't think Escantha is having a great final 3, but I wouldn't really expect her to, and so I think it's villagery for her.
Yeah, I mean, we saw her as, Mafia earlier, and now we're under 2 minutes. Time is ticking. Silly goose, you gotta be silly with it. Silly Billy, can she get there? Void can't read Clem for shit, Lamau, no offense. I mean, that actually is kind of a weird read for Mafia. I actually, not gonna lie, that 290, like, from a unbiased perspective, 299 does seem kind of an unpartnery way to frame it, right? I don't know, like...
I'm gonna be honest. These 5-up players, they never hammer. Suki, these other guys are currently just don't vote. What's going on there? Does the 5-up community need a Mafia Academy?
I think Silver's going to vote Void.
Wait,
Silver's 419
Silver? Wait,
sounds like an upset pick.
Wait, what?
I think Silver may be about to vote. Sorry, I think Silly may be about to vote Void.
Oh.
That's I'm going to vote Void.
Oh my god, this is massive. This is crazy. Oh my god, and Clem, cancel me if I'm wrong. Oh, and you're right, she very well may. And she votes Escantha. No. Oh, Escantha is villager. And
yes!
It was Void. Wow.
It's Void. And look at that. And Zara's celebrating. And
Errol.
Oh my god.
We won! We won! The fucking Wolves won!
And Zara is so excited. Wow. In a massive tournament, and Void.
I thought 419 was a Void vote coming.
You thought it was a Void vote running. I mean, credit to Void, right? He played a fantastic game. And look, I think, you guys were correct in this. I mean, Benny came to it too, right? He talked about it earlier, right? We talked about that in the day 2, day 3. He felt it was agendaed. He felt his vote on Akatsuki was agendaed, and like the lack of paranoia there. And wow. And well done to Silver, right? Well done to Void, and Silver really played well there. And yeah, Silver, played intentionally played with Esther. And you guys are right, though. I mean, I think from an NK perspective, and obviously in hindsight, like, it is kind of a red flag for Void to stay live that long. But wow, that is crazy. And I don't blame Silly Goose here. It is unfortunate, but Clem played well. She did the best she can, but it's unfortunate, when you get in that position, it's hard to get there.
She's now cancelled. She said cancel me wrong. She's cancelled. Silly Goose is cancelled from cancel.
I hate all of you, Calypso. Wow. And what's funny, right? We talked about that day 1 vote. Who was it on? Calypso had Void, and Void and Calypso, and wow. And the shot from The shot from Akane was on the wrong wolf, was on the wrong person on that wagon. But wow, I don't know if Akane's reader was to shoot on Calypso, but that is crazy. Wow. And good thing, we talked about too, Benny, right? It was a good thing that she didn't vote Happy there, right? We talked about Happy getting there when it matters most, but it was unfortunate the game ended. It was a really well played Wolfen, right? We're gonna give credit to Zara here, right? Wolves played a fantastic game. I think Void, I think it's an unnecessary bust, but I think Void played a fantastic game. And wow, I mean, Void showing his guns.
Unnecessary bust, but I think it won the game too.
Yeah, I mean, hear me out, right? The reason I think it's unnecessary, I think if Joda's alive, it's a fine play. But I think in a position, you're L-1, you have an opportunity for at least one villager to die before Lilo, and then the other one's going to get a lot of heat. It just takes one Mafia to misvote, right? And obviously, Void was getting towered a lot. Silver was the one who was not so much, but I just think... I just think a little bit, it could have been one quicker, but it's still, Void played a fantastic game. I think he for sure set him up, right? I'll say it like that. I think he set himself up to win. But no, well played, though. I think Void played a fantastic game and really 180'd his town game. or sorry, 180'd his game from his previous Wolf game, right? So really well played from Void there. Wow, that was a great game. And how about it? Silver's first Wolf game on MU is a win, right? Talk about Wolf dubs, right? Wolf dubs in the chat, baby. Zora, your first time Wolf, first time win.
Yeah, nice. I just want to say something. Wolves need to stop busting. You just need to start winning games from now on.
So Zara, do you agree with me that I mean, look, I think I credited one in the game, but Zara, talk to me. Do you think that was an unnecessary buster? Do you think that they could have won it in the Lilo without having to buster in that situation?
You can always win it in the Lilo without having to bust. There's only one place to bust. It's exactly when you are on day 2 under pressure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because then that's when you like need to figure out the jolt. And one of the ways you can do that is by distancing yourself with your partner and then trying to like bait out the jolt with a claim or some bullshit. So you take the 1-for-1, get the jolt, and then distance with your partner. That's what
well, the jolt was right with the jolt dead. You've got a lot of flexibility to bust if you want. But I mean, but you have if you're gonna bust, you've got to take it home.
Yeah. And he did, right? And so shout out there, right?
Yeah. Like I've been bust a few times by just people who are very weak partners and then just post garbage the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And I start getting really irritated in DVC. Yeah. But like, if you get bust by somebody who's going to work for the win, God bless. You know, that's part of the game.
Right.
And I think that was a good bust. And I think that was a good bust in that spot.
Yeah.
There were enough scummy looking villagers. And I think also the whole, hey, these people have been spewed clear means that it's a lot easier to justify why you're alive, which always is a nice thing in your back pocket. If there's like 2 to 4 people who look really clear and you're inside them, you just shoot in there and you don't really get questioned too much.
Right, and that's why the kill actually on Jiro was good, right? Because obviously, you know, we talked about that previous Lucas slot, and then the next slot you kill Happy. So it gives you some leeway, right? Like you kind of delay when you would supposedly get killed and you don't get much slack for it.
Was a low info kill. Yeah. That was a low info kill too, which is really smart in that spot.
Yeah. And I think that Suki hammer just was so devastating, right? Because you have an opportunity to potentially get a longer F5 drawn out. And as Benny said, right, the paranoia there, lack of from Void there when you mentioned that. And so you get to see more interactions there and get a better idea of what's going on. And like, you know, I just think sometimes, like, obviously I thought Escante was the last, right? But I just think sometimes it's good not to rush things, right? It's good to take your time. You'll never be too sure, right, until you get that answer. But yeah, no, well played game by Void, right? I mean, by no means am I saying the bust was like minus EV. I just thought you can win it sooner than you had to. But obviously the bust kind of helped. And as you mentioned, right, take it home, win it the distance. But wow, what a great turbo, man. Just so exciting. A lot of passion and Void, right? Talk about it. Comeback story, right? You lose this Wolf in the previous game. You come back just much better and win it. Huge shout out to him. Great game overall. And we'll see you guys in the next live commentary of Turbo whenever that happens. And GG's.
Adios.